So my first question, your work from Wytches to Batman proves that true horror isn't about jump scares, but existential dread. Yeah. When you sit down to write, what is the fundamental human vulnerability you look to tap into to ensure a monster is genuinely psychological, terrifying?
That's a great question. I mean, what I do is I try and think about what I'm most afraid of at that moment. So with Wytches, I was really scared of being a dad. We were pregnant with our second son, and my career was beginning to take off, and I was scared that I wasn't going to be a good father. And so I was like, well, what if somebody can hear these thoughts and tempt me in that direction? What if there's a monster that knows that you have bad thoughts? And then it became, well, what if they live under the ground? What if they're witches? What if they're these horrible things that eat you and know how to eat people, and all you have to do to get what you want is embrace these bad thoughts? And so it comes from trying to figure out what's most terrifying to me about the world, about it for my children, for myself, and then creating a monster out of that, and then that thing becomes scary to me even before it has a physical form, because it embodies something that keeps me up at night.
Mm-hmm. That's a good start.
Yeah, right.
You have deconstructed and rebuilt Bruce Wayne multiple times, and now you're leading DC's absolute universe. When handling icons with over 80 years of history, how do you find the perfect balance between the fear of disrespecting the legacy and the courage required to radically change them?
That's another great question. I mean, really what it is you've got to sort of accept that if you love the character, whatever you're thinking of doing probably is going to be okay. That's where you get the bravery. You just say, listen, I'm a fan. If I think this matters, then we'll work. So that's where I sort of get over my fears. When it comes to sort of the ideas about how to do it, I just believe deeply that these characters like Batman exist to make us brave. That's why they're enduring. Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. Each one of them is designed to make you brave in a different way. Batman is about overcoming trauma. Whatever terrible thing happened to you, you can overcome it. So when rebuilding him, it's about what trauma would feel most potent today, a mass shooting in the States, and what would make him the most heroic? Well, instead of being a billionaire like all of these people that are ruining the world, how about if he's working class and he's coming up? And so it's all about how to make these characters the most kind of resonant, the most immediate, and the most sort of impactful that they can be. So if you're always making them even more heroic by changing them because of the moment, I think you can't really go wrong.
Yeah. That's why Batman is one of my favorites. Do we still have time for one more?
Yeah, sure, hit me up.
You've taught writing for years and are a massive champion for new talent in the industry. What is the one golden piece of advice you constantly give your students, but still find yourself struggling or having to force yourself to apply in your own scripts?
Well, the golden rule of the class is always you've got to write the story that you would love to find the most on the shelf that day, that would be the most inspiring to you. And that's always a struggle, because it means being vulnerable. It means writing something that exposes your fears, your hopes, the things you're ashamed of when you put those in the story. And so, it's something I struggle with just because it's always hard. But I try teaching I love because it keeps me young. It keeps me feeling like if I tell students they have to do these things, then I have to go home and do them, or I'm kind of a big hypocrite. So it helps me stick to my principles, and I'll always try and do it as long as I can.